We are listening to Richard Brodigan tonight, and it's amazing to me. Such a great musician remains unknown, but most of the time I sit around wondering why a certain um, person is unknown and um, how another person is a household name. It's interesting. So, like, I'm wearing a tour shirt from when the Flaming Lips were awesome. So some great bands. I don't think they ever got the credit they deserve. But they're not a band I like to listen to any longer. Doesn't mean like in a priest-driven ambulance isn't one of my favorite albums, but it's a great LP. But you know, Wayne seems content to ruin the music that he was once a brilliant purveyor of. But then you have somebody like Richard Brodigan, who folk singer out of New York, and just a genius. Um, we both share a love of Leonard Cohen, another genius, and known for sure. But let's face it, I think we've all been there. We've been out. We've whether busking on the street or at an open mic somewhere, maybe at a show somewhere, and we've done a Leonard Cohen song, maybe a more obscure one, and it's nobody knew it as a Leonard Cohen. Um, Steve Forbert is another genius. I mean, I love Romeo's tune. That's a great one. And then like nobody well, rarely recognized. Um, T Rex. Everybody knows Bang a Gong, but whatever happened to a teenage dream? Whatever happened to the teenage dream? That's the song. Um, that if you're gonna cover T Rex, you know, I think you should. Nothing wrong with covering a well-known, well-loved classic. There's nothing wrong with it. Um, but I think another beauty of the cover is to help you know spread the word, the love of the music. And so I sit here on a Saturday night, working on music. I lent my guitar to an autistic kid. I did. Um, Thought it might help him. Uh, his dad thought it might. Hasn't really landed, but it still hasn't returned. But I've got my guitar, and which is a Vocaloid from Japan. It's over there. I might pull it out some video in the future. Today's just kind of been a little bit of cleaning. I've been living in surreal times. I was incarcerated for over 100 days on bullshit familial drama. You know, Protective order. That's is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. Um, but don't indirectly message someone and type names on Facebook. They can tag people and fuck if you didn't directly communicate with them. And then fuck if you didn't do it 2 days in a row because you're a goddamn idiot. And then fuck incarcerated in a county jail for over 100 days. Met some great people. You know, all trying to deal with the permanent apocalypse we're in, and some of them made wrong decisions. You know, you're sitting with a guy who has made plenty of wrong decisions in his life. It's what do? You really realize it's time to make a change, but this was like the worst time to hit the road, as it were. Hitchhiking home from jail alone. If it hadn't been a member of the Rainbow family helping me out, giving me one ride after a 30-mile hike, blisters on my feet because all I had was bedroom slippers. And I get home and my house had been burglarized. Uh, I think my father, in his wisdom, and it really was, let a friend of mine that was not my friend, but we had not been talking, like I said. So he made the wrong call and let this guy stay here, keep an eye on the place. Unfortunately, the guy just ruined the place, um, destroyed things, knocked things over. I talked to one of my neighbors across the street to the south, and he was like, "Yeah, he was like in your living room, window, blind open, window open, and orange food out the front window." I was like, "Oh, okay, great. That's fucking yeah, that's lunatic squad shit." I mean, fuck. And then turns out he was locked out. New locks were placed on the back. He had absconded with the keys. New locks were put on. He broke in a couple times, was pulled out by the police. Maybe one of my neighbors to the east did call the police, and but I don't know if he was in and out. Another neighbor said that he was in the backyard, and he said, "This is my house now. It was given to me, and everything in it's mine." He let people come in and take things, according to one person who was in the house taking things that belonged to them. And there were things that belonged to them, and that was cool. Um, but supposedly he offered her a box of things that were mine as well, which is not how that works. So, but no, just in general, just kind of chilling on a Saturday night in Southern Virginia. Kind of not really where I want to be, that's for sure. But right now, I don't have any other place to go. You know. Oh, I got to check an email real quick. You guys can hang out. That's all it is. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. I was just also trying to cut and paste this and drop it to Facebook to like let people know I'm streaming. I was going to stream on there, and these clothes are all big. I lost a lot of weight in jail. The food was good in the county, in the local city jail. It was really awful food, but in the county jail, it was good food, just very tiny portions. Like there are preschoolers that eat better, I think, like quantity wise. It was uh, constant starving. I realize I'm talking, listening to music loud, but I have a tendency to uh, jam out um, and trying to determine like a set list. I want to do mostly just like covers. I just want to kind of do that in my own weird way. That's uh, I haven't figured out what I'll call myself yet. And of course, that's just in the background when I get time. My primary project right now um, is a novel. I will use the tarot as an exploration for a character. No, I think loosely based on a condensation of kind of like the last decade of my life into kind of this hyperbolic, um, absurd. Because it's patently absurd now, but if I were to just take a little bit more from my past, um, and I think that would be the height of a surreal adventure. Because the other day, in talking to a freighter of mine, I was telling him like things have just gotten so crazy. So I come back from being incarcerated, and then my house has been burglarized, things have been stolen, things have been ruined. Like there were tarot decks thrown, there were tarot decks spread all over the place. Um, uh, Two of them have sustained water damage, and I was able to find two intact, but not intact, but not ruined, and no, four intact. Boxes missing, but at least four intact. Four decks missing completely. A lot of stuff stolen, like I said. And after hitchhiking home, I just got in from Wawa with a 6 pack of beer and a pack of cigarettes because, god damn it, that's what I wanted on my first night of freedom. And you know, I enjoyed my evening. And then, of course, you know, I come home and then I realize, wow, this whole place has been way worse than my initial kind of walk in. My neighbor was walking by. I walked with him to Wawa. So hence I didn't really like it. I just had done a shallow entry. But when I realized like somebody had been living in the guest room, the loft had been utterly everything in the loft just thrown about, destroyed. Like a CD player hacked to pieces. It's quite the scene upstairs. Because after supposedly this guy was let to stay, evicted, ejected because uh, my father came by to check on the place, and it was like a mountain of human shit in the toilet. I guess you don't flush it. I don't know. I do all the time, and every time, So unless I'm drinking beer and I'm urinating, I might go every two urinations and then flush, just to you know, um, you know, because I just had you know a new toilet put in, but still. But no, so and then or more than one person probably used the ladder to break into the loft when downstairs was sealed tight. So, um, a lot of theft, a lot of burglary, and yes, and he was totally evicted from the downstairs and trespassing, no trespassing signs. After the human uh, mountain of shit, and also a cardboard box in the kitchen full of human excrement. So really, really fucked up times here at the temple while I was gone. But that's what happens when a place, is you know vacant for over 100 days. I guess in these crazy apocalyptic times. You know. So probably more than one person. Who knows? Who at this point cares? But as I was saying, I was talking to a freighter. This is my current life, and he's like, it's like a Richard Brodigan novel, man. You should really write it down. Kind of, figure it out because not only, and my dogs are not with me any longer. They are being taken care of by my father, and I have uh, uh, been told by my child who talks to their grandfather, um, non-binary gender. So, my child. Um, and so they were talking to their grandfather, and my dog, uh, Foxy Lulu, looks like a fox. It was called Daisy Lou when me and my ex-wife adopted her. But she really took to me initially. Actually, it was kind of I wouldn't say it was like it was like an occasional like argument. Um, that's why we eventually ended up with Coco as well. And now Coco does not look like Coco will be returning. It looks like it just might be me and Foxy. So, but I mean, Coco will have a good home with her grandfather. That's fine. Sad, but fine. You know. So, um, but no. So Richard Brodigan, great novelist, very odd uh, conceptualization uh, for novels. Trout Fishing in America and Tokyo Montana Expressway come to mind as they are novels, but they are conceptualized as I think only he could. Uh, Trout Fishing in America, each chapter is a spot where you trout fish, but and then Tokyo Montana Expressway is a imaginary railway between Tokyo and Montana. Um, and Richard Brodigan writes the various stops on that imaginary railway, Tokyo Montana Expressway. And he wrote Revenge of the Lawn, a great short story collection. He wrote wonderful poetry. Um, Rommel drives on deep into Egypt here. Great book of poetry by any book of poetry by Richard Brodigan's great. Um, he shot himself in the head in 1984. Um, life was not going the way he wanted it to. He was dealing with a marriage that had fallen apart, heartbroken over that, over a lifetime of failed relationships, a writing career that never saw the success that he wanted to see. And it's and it's you gotta do what you will to survive to be happy. Um, I'm a Thelemite. That is somebody who uh, studies the book of the law. The book of the law. Liber al Legis, which was uh, written in 1904. Um, and do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will. So that it's a 3-chapter book of the law, and that is the law. The law of Selima. Selima is Greek for willpower. So, and then there's agape, which is the kind of the universal love we should have for everybody. Uh, you know, and that's why I love listening to authentic music, um, made by people trying to make a difference, trying to impart even the simplest of sentiments. And it's 8:30 on a Saturday night, so I just figured I'd jump on the YouTube and say hi. And they say to broadcast at least for 21 minutes. So starting next week, I'll hopefully figure out how to do this better. Maybe get my GoPro working. I've got some options here. Just trying to put everything together after, you know, getting out of jail and then coming home to a house that, you know, I've slowly been cleaning, but you know, don't really want to be here in Virginia. Um, but given the permanent apocalypse situation, I ain't got nowhere else I can go right now. So you know, you do what you can with the now. And so I just wanted to come on here and say, hey, check out Richard McGraw. If you're looking for an interesting read, check out Richard Bronigan. And if you have loved ones out there in the universe, why not reach out and tell them howdy? Because you never know when you could find yourself at the end of the line and all those phone numbers you used to call, they're just slips of paper that go nowhere, you know. So call the numbers while they still matter. One day, you know, you won't have that number to ring. So I don't know what any of us are doing during this permanent apocalypse, but try to take some time for you. Um, you know, we all have loved ones. You know, we do. I don't have any nearby, but I do have loved ones. Well, I have friends nearby that I love, but you know, uh, yeah, couple people in this small town in Southern Virginia that I love, but you know, there's like one or two people that'll stop by to check on me, which I appreciate great, but I thought I had a lot more, but I've been pretty bad at calculations lately. Put my trust in people, and lately, with the exception of a few traders, a few sorors, and my child, well, I hear the train whistles blowing out there. Almost 9 o'clock on a Saturday night. So, as Sam Cooke saying, it's another Saturday night, and I ain't got nobody. However, unlike that song, uh, I don't have a job, so I didn't just get paid, and I don't have plenty of money. But I do wish I had someone to talk to. I'm in an awful. It's another Saturday night, and it is, but like the song "Love" sang, uh, "Alone Again Tonight" for "Alone Again" for. I think that's it. Something like that. Check it out. Have a good night. LUV 93. There we go. There's the actual end.